Aloha, thank you for joining me, your host Joey Rocha, for another episode of Flat Earth Live. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a t-shirt that says the Nike swoosh emblem, well, kind of symbolic actually, because today's message is going to be, well, this is a preview for tonight's show, but today's message is going to be on alcoholism, how you can quit easily, like I did. It's a disease, it's curable, it's no problem, it's easy. You don't have to go through all this emotional realization. You don't have to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, nothing against Alcoholics Anonymous, but that's not the answer. It helps people, but then again, some people fall back. A lot of people, it takes them a long time. I've got a 3-week program that you just be like Nike. Yeah, be like Nike, just do it. And it's really easy. It's a 3-week program. And so anyways, this is a preview to tonight's show on stopping alcoholics from this disease. I cured myself, and you can too. I offer this help out of obligation, honor, and duty. So I was an alcoholic for 12, 13 years, something like that, functioning alcoholic, right? And my story is going to be similar or different from all kinds of other alcoholics, but I can relate. And so that's why I'm perfect for this job. I was not just like, you know, I went through like a year of drinking, or I was kind of a heavy drinker. I was a functioning alcoholic, right? And I've cured myself of this. This is 7 months ago, so it's no big deal anymore, right? But I'm the perfect counselor for you. I'm free. You can ask me any question you want to, and it takes you 3 weeks to the rest of your life. It's scientifically proven. So if you can just maybe invite any friends that are alcoholics, or if you're an alcoholic yourself, just watch tonight's show, ask questions, and I guarantee you, you will realize it's a really simple process. And I'll give you the spoiler alert. It's real simple. Basically, in a nutshell, the human brain cannot comprehend forever. So if you say, I'm going to quit drinking forever, I'm going to quit doing this or that forever, or I'm going to start working out forever, that number infinity is incomprehensible to our brain. So our brain won't even compute it in the first place. It's empty words, and words cast spells, as we know, right? So you have to say something realistic to your brain. It's just an organ. You have to say something realistic to you. Your brain's not you. Your brain's an organ. So when you tell yourself something, you have to say something realistic, and that realistically you can do 3 weeks of not drinking alcohol. And if you can't, you have to ask yourself, my goodness, I really do have a problem if I can't go 3 weeks, right? So it's easy to rationalize. You can even tell yourself, look, I'm going to give my organs a little break. No, you know, nobody can find a flaw in doing something for 3 weeks that's good for you, and you can muster up the willpower to do something for 3 weeks only. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, why would I only think 3 weeks? Well, here's why. Because 3 weeks is attainable, and it's scientifically proven that kind of like the first impression that you get, it takes 17 times more for you to have a different changed opinion. Same thing with habit goes. If you do something for a period of 3 weeks or longer, you've created a new habit. If you stop doing something for 3 weeks or longer, you've ended that habit. Your body no longer recognizes that as an autonomic process that you do. So you're used to sleeping, having a bunch before you go to bed, all that different stuff. That's where you got to use your willpower for 3 weeks only. And then after that, you'll never even crave alcohol ever again for the rest of your life. It's a disease, it's a sin, and it causes nothing but problems in everybody's life. So we don't need to talk about the health implications tonight. Actually, I'm not going to talk at all about the health implications, except for the fact that it does cause pancreatic cancer. Everybody who has pancreatic cancer, 90% of them, they're functioning alcoholics. And it's just kind of swept under the carpet. They don't like to talk about it to embarrass the people. But other than that, we all know all the health implications for drinking alcohol, plenty. But I want to talk about the fact that you can get rid of it so easy in 3 weeks. Of course, your health will improve, but you won't make all those mistakes that you made before. You won't have to be sinning. You won't be embarrassed of yourself. Now, part of the problem with becoming alcohol-free is now you have to deal with your own problems. But as long as you can be a mature adult, you can look at your problems and start to fix them, because you got to fix them anyways, right? Drowning your problems in alcohol never worked for anybody. All right, so tune in tonight, and if you know an alcoholic, invite them to join. If you're an alcoholic, invite them to join. Or, you know, I'm inviting you to join. And if you're just curious because you know somebody who's an alcoholic, tune in tonight, because this is great information. We have an epidemic of a lot of diseases here in America and all across the world. And one of the major ones is alcohol. And I like to talk about the elephants in the room. And I wouldn't talk about anything I haven't gone through myself, honestly. I lost 50 pounds in 3 weeks on a raw food diet. I talked about it. I cured my own pancreatic cancer with something. I talked about it. I thought that the lava flow on the Big Island was CGI. I went there and found out I was wrong. I talked about it. So I'm always going to bring you the truth, and if I stand corrected, I will. But I'm guaranteeing you, not only am I alcohol free for 7 months, and it's easy, but also I've helped several people do the same thing on the same plan. So it's not like it just worked for me. It'll work for anybody. It's like 3 weeks to the rest of your life. Yeah, so there's my message. And please join me tonight for Ross. And I'm about to go to the beach with my daughter, so I'm pretty excited. And my beautiful wife is going to work today. And anyways, I'll update you guys on the stuff that's going on, some new stuff in my life. But Mike and Kalina and Arash and Michael Toldness says hello, hello. Franklin E, what's up, Franklin E? And James Ray says, watching this with a beer, say no to catnip. Ah, James Ray, I love you, brother. I love you, man. You're hilarious. Look, James Ray, let me tell you something too, brother, real quick before I go, guys. I'm actually not against drinking alcohol. I'm talking to alcoholics here. And people always get confused. They always start getting guilty. Like, hey, I drink a 6-pack every once in a while. I'm not talking to you. Honestly, I'm not. If you are an alcoholic, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a 2-liter bottle of vodka in your freezer. I'm talking about hiding to drink your alcohol before you go and putting like breath freshener on your breath. And I'm talking about a real alcoholic, somebody who basically has to drink so much that they're either hiding it or they're, everybody knows, whatever. I'm talking about that kind of person. You know what I mean? So James Ray, and I know you're just joking, but James Ray, that's who I'm talking to, and everybody else, I'm talking to alcoholics. I'm not against alcohol consumption. Matter of fact, if you want to have a glass of wine or beer, beautiful, beautiful, right on. But as an ex-alcoholic, I'm talking to all the alcoholics, and there's a lot of them. So if you're drinking a beer, 2, 3, hey, good. You aren't cursed with the sin of gluttony of being an alcoholic, right? Just like if you have a little bit of junk food, that's totally fine too, right? Ricardo says hola, and my wife Ermizamoto, who's downstairs. Ricola, thank you for joining, Ricola. Hey, Ricola, if you know any alcoholics, recommend them to watch this show. If they're too kind of shame for to be pointed out, then you can just watch the show and you can use the advice and give it in a loving way, and so can everybody else who's watching this right now. You can just take this advice. You can tune in if you're not an alcoholic. Listen to this advice, and then somebody else, you can counsel them, because it's a beautiful thing to be alcohol-free. It is. It's beautiful. So lift yourself of the curse. I've helped plenty of people. I'm no one special, but what I am obligated to do is to give back the gift that was given to me. And you won't realize it, all you alcoholics out there, but you know it in your heart. But you won't realize it until it comes to fruition. And when it comes to fruition, you will say to yourself every day, thank God, oh my God, I'm so glad. Wow, it was like chains. You'll realize, but look, you got to do it and be like Nike. Oops. Be like Nike, just do it. It's really simple, I'm telling you, 3 weeks. And I'll even tell you psychological things you can help yourself through every single day, no matter what you're going to tell me and what you're going to throw at me. I've been counseling people here for the last like 4 or 5 months anyways. So I've been asked all the hard questions. So I'm asking you to please, if you're an alcoholic, come on. You have to quit. You just think it's hard. You just think maybe not today, not tomorrow, soon, or you just ignore it, right? Well, don't ignore it. I'm just telling you right now, right here. I did it. It took me 3 weeks. You can do it. And all you have to do is decide to just be like Nike and just do it, and trust in your own ability, and trust in science, because there's 3 weeks, and then you will be blessed for the rest of your life. And then you can function. You can be the highest self that you can possibly be without making all those bad mental decisions that are caused by alcohol. Okay? And if you want to switch it up with something, you can switch it up. If you don't already smoke cannabis, you can smoke it up with switch it up with smoking cannabis. Or you can switch it up with smoking tobacco. I know people think that's a bad idea for me to recommend tobacco, but tobacco doesn't cause cancer. Just don't use the filter, smoke it out of a wood pipe. All right, guys, see you tonight. Oh, Meke, sorry, Mieke, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, says, what time is your show? It'll be well, right now in Hawaii, it's 10 a.m. Okay, so I'll probably do my show around 3 p.m. So therefore, it'll be, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, about 7 hours. Cool. All right, guys, I'll see you in about 7 hours, maybe way sooner, but we'll see, okay? Aloha, guys.